Year 3 of Poke Nation is back. Heath Schroyer is back.
How about that? Year 3. They're having us back again, my friend.
Back and better than ever.
Well, minus the jacket. Like, where is the jacket?
Okay, we're going to get into that. All the talk about the jacket. I wanted to go 1 week in the new show with the sponsorship of the TV station and thank them. Next week, there will be a new jacket. It's been bought. It's been fitted. Everybody's excited, and it is not a lime green leisure suit. Although I did have one once.
I'm not surprised by that. But I mean, like, we talked about after the first show, like, hey, you got to kind of wear a jacket. Like, what happened to the old one? You can't wear the old one. I mean,
the old one is
it's still in the closet, I think.
No, it's not. It was put to rest.
Wow. Okay.
Well, actually, if you want to get technical.
So now in your closet, there's 2 jackets.
No. That one's not allowed.
Oh, okay.
That one's
Got
not
it.
allowed.
Got
There's some mothball issues and that we won't get into.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So let's get it. How you been?
I've been great.
Been a while.
It's been busy.
What have you done? Come on, really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's...
So let's get into a couple of things.
Okay.
Press box. Check.
Yes. Check.
$31 million. Looks beautiful.
It's going to be
We'll get into
phenomenal.
the baseball facility. They brought down the fire station,
yep.
so it looks like that's progressing.
Correct.
Matt Fontenot is now on, replacing
Yes.
Todd Butler.
Yep.
So it's been a busy summer.
It's always busy. My dad and my sister and my daughter are actually in town because my dad turned 77, so he came down to have his birthday. And I told them, we were at dinner, and I said, you think that, hey, okay, I'm going to take a little breath here, and, it's not going to be as busy, but, like, honestly, it feels like I continue to get busier, and now, once you get to the end of the July and the 1st of August, I mean, it's football.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
cranking, I mean,
we're into work.
You're going for 11 months straight. It's on.
Okay, so let's talk about the press box. Had some fights.
Oh, gosh. A lot of fights.
A lot of people put inputs. But the one thing about it is the $31 million, all that stuff, the main thing is to me was it's not a press box for now. It's a press box for now and
100%.
the future.
100%. And it's been, you talked about arguments. Like I was in a lot of
Discussions?
heated discussions at times where
Heated discussions.
And I just, hung on to the fact and kept preaching, and we got there, was I don't want people to walk into this press box in 2025 when it's going to be completely operational in 25.
Yeah.
And to walk in and go, man, this is really nice. I want people to go in there in 2040, 2035, and 40, go, man, this is really nice. And we have one chance at this.
Yeah.
Right? One. And hopefully, the hurricane's we don't ever get hit by another hurricane in a long, long time. But this is our one chance. And we got there. It took a long time to get there for a lot of reasons and a lot of different opinions, but we're there. There's going to be 26 suites.
That's nice.
There's going to be a complete working area on the bottom that is going to be fully enclosed. And I want to have different levels of suites, if you will. So some are going to have 8 to 10 seats. Some are going to have 25 to 30 seats. So there's a different, just different prices for different people's and their needs. But there's a list right now. As soon as it was announced, I had 5 people, corporate people, come and call and say, hey, I want one of those. So I have no doubt that we'll sell them all.
And one of the things that people don't understand is it's a moneymaker for the school and for the football program, isn't it?
100%. Look, and you talked about the future. I mean, I haven't been shy. I mean, our goal is to put ourselves in a position that if and when an opportunity, comes to move up to an FBS level, and who knows if that's ever going to happen, but if it does, we want to be ready. And this press box shows our commitment to not only where McNeese is now, but where we want McNeese to be in the future.
And possibly host an FCS championship game?
100%. And, why couldn't you? We're going to have, that's the other thing is this is going to be able to host championship games. If and when we ever get that invite to be able to host a conference championship games. And at the end of the day, football drives the athletic department. It's the first sport out of the gate, if you will. And especially in Southwest Louisiana. And I've said all along, since we started this show, we stopped investing in football over a decade ago. And we just did. We just stopped and we bled it out. And 10 years later, you had, a couple, you saw what happened.
Yeah, we saw what happened.
And but now, in the last couple of years, we've reinvested, and there's no doubt in my mind you'll see what that does too.
Could 2025 open with a new press box and a home conference game against Louisiana Tech in Conference USA?
Oh,
the
shoot,
first ever?
I have no idea about that.
Come on, dream big, Coach. Dream big.
I don't know about that. I do know that the time that press box opens, it's going to be a great day.
But the timing does kind of fit if it all fits in time. You never really got to dream big, Coach. You're the one that tells me to dream big.
For sure.
Think big. When we come back, Coach's guest Mike Eason will be with us on this Polk Nation.
Welcome back to Polk Nation. It's a pleasure to have Mr. Mike Eason. Welcome back, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thanks
It's
for
about
inviting
that time of year, right?
me. It is. It is.
Well, listen, we obviously there's a big golf tournament coming up here within the next month, and talk about it. Let's tell Polk Nation what it's about and how to get involved.
Well, this is something that was conceived just a couple of years ago. Dr. Burkell and I went to lunch, and we were just looking for different opportunities to expand the McNeese brand across the state, and kind of hit us. There's kind of a political event that goes on here every year called Legislator, and so we created this golf tournament, and we did it in honor of an alumni, Bill Oliver, who had died in an accident a couple of years earlier. Bill was the Alumni of the Year in 2005. I got to share the stage with him. He was the president of AT&T, so we named the golf tournament after Bill.
Yep.
And we decided that we were going to try to see if we can't bring in some of the Baton Rouge money and some of the area around the state to really have a good time. We auctioned the governor off. We auctioned the Speaker of the House. And we auctioned the Senate President off. We have a big party the night before. Oshner is a corporate sponsor. AT&T is a big corporate sponsor for us. So it's really kind of captured a pretty good, catch into the state of Louisiana.
So what's the date, Mike? And then and if obviously I think there's some opportunities and some foursomes still available.
Correct.
But what is the date? Where's the golf course? What are all the details?
The golf course, we're going to be doing at the Golden Nugget. The date of the golf tournament is August the 17th, which is the day before Legislator. August the 16th, we do a pairing party, which we invite everybody that's a part of the golf tournament. Any of the elected officials that are in the area come to the party. Hal McMillan does the auction for us with our dignitaries. And, we have a few slots left. It is beginning to fill up pretty quickly now. We're getting a lot of corporate support around the state that's coming in now.
Mm-hmm. And then how do they, if someone wants to sign up for the golf tournament, Mike, how do they do that?
We got Jennifer Leger with the foundation office is kind of heading it up for us at McNeese. Dr. Roos is obviously involved, but Jennifer's kind of our point person. Just contact the McNeese Foundation office, and they can take care of you as far as getting in a team.
Awesome.
One of the big things you mentioned is getting McNeese's name out to the rest of the state. How important has that been, and what kind of a turnout have you seen from that?
I got to tell you, I had a 40-year career in business, and leadership is a big thing. And I got to tell you, I couldn't be more excited for the direction McNeese is headed right now, and the reception that we are receiving around the state in this golf tournament in 1 year. We had a pretty strong turnout last year, and the buy-in is absolutely in place. And I think that goes, the credit of the leadership, you, and everything you've done with athletics and what Jim's doing. I think that the brand is clearly getting the attention around the nation now.
It's the funny thing about that is, can Heath Schroyer play golf?
I've played with Heath. He's got a good game, just like everything he does.
Now, to me,
I don't know if I played. I don't know if I've played since I played with Mike. But that was a good day for me.
I can see the man talking a good golf game. I don't know if I can see the man playing a good golf game. Is it expensive to play with Heath?
I had his boss there, so there was no money changing hands.
And we're sticking to that story.
One of the things that you've been around for a lot is kind of the growth of McNeese recently. The last decade was not great, but all of a sudden we've come out the other side. What do you see as the biggest upswing as far as having McNeese as a brand name again?
I've been around McNeese athletics for 60 years, and I have never been more excited for the direction I see the university headed, both academically and athletically. They're working together. They're all on the same page, and the brand is the winner, McNeese.
Well, I'll tell you this. It's, obviously Mike and I have spent a lot of time together. We've had lunches quite a few times, and especially when I first took over as an AD, I remember we went and had lunch and just talked about leadership, talked about the community, and I really appreciate, you leading the way, especially on this golf tournament, because it's a huge deal for MAF. All the proceeds go to McNeese Athletic Foundation. So it's, what makes this place special, Jim, and you and I have talked about it, is people like Mike, right? Like people that are bought into this community and bought into McNeese. And without the support of people like you, Mike, honestly, this university couldn't get to where it's trying to go.
And I want to add to that, I am seeing people in the community become involved in McNeese in their own way, whatever is important to them. And I think that expansion of the base is what's really making this take off into a new level.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that because this is a more of an embrace McNeese to the community than ever before. Is that what you see?
Absolutely. I think everything begins with leadership, and leadership sets the goals. Obviously, the buy-in from the community is there because you've done a good job in selling McNeese and what we're trying to accomplish.
We don't compliment him on the show. that's a rule. We have to have on the show. There's certain things we can do, we can say, but we can't compliment Heath on the show. When we come back with Mike Eason, we're going to talk a little bit more about McNeese and bringing back the past after this on Poke Nation. We're back with Mike Eason talking golf, but I also want to get into this. Last year, McNeese made a big push, brought Joe Dumars back into the fold. We've seen it with other basketball. What does it mean as an alum and somebody who's seen that kind of split at times with some of the bigger names? What does that mean to see those people come back?
I think that, again, that is a buy-in from previous athletes that have been around here, and they're seeing what we're trying to accomplish here. And obviously what they can bring to the table to elevate McNeese is tremendous. I'll tell you a quick story. My company was based in New York City, and I walked into a meeting one day with a McNeese shirt on. And the first thing somebody said, Joe Dumars. Because obviously the name was recognized nationwide, but they remembered he went to McNeese, and that was the tie to McNeese.
Yeah, and that seems to be the big pushback from this group lately has been re-embrace the past. But now we see the future. What do you see when you look out and you see there's going to be a new press box? When you see there's going to be a new baseball facility? What do you think of that?
Again, as an alum, I couldn't be more excited. I think that the key to success, you got to put your amenities in place, you put your infrastructure in place, you put your press boxes in place, and the program is only going to grow with that. If you make an investment on the front end, you're going to get a return on the back end.
For sure. So let's go back to the golf tournament. So, because I think this was really unique. Like you said, it's partnered with the legislator. Okay. So, when you're in fundraising, you're always kind of hitting the same people. And this was really an unbelievable and a great idea that you had is you have all these lobbyists and all these people from all the part of the state that are coming into Lake Charles for this whole event in a couple of days, and for them to experience, McNeese and the McNeese Athletic Foundation. Well, Jim, you think about it, you have all these people from around the state, and everywhere they go is McNeese. It's ingenious to put our brand with the people in the state, but also the lobbyists and all the people that want to buy foursomes are people from outside of Lake Charles.
That's correct.
So where spurred this idea? Like, where did you get this idea from? Or what, when you guys were sitting around, how did this all come to play?
Dr. Burkell and I, were first ones to sit down, and then Dr. Roos came and joined us, and, I think you came in some of the meetings we had at the beginning, and I've always been a big believer in thinking big, and to think big, I kind of compare what we're doing at this golf tournament to Disney World. It's not cheap to go to Disney World, but when you walk out of Disney World at the end of the day, everybody says the same thing, it was worth it. And that's exactly what we've tried to accomplish here. This golf tournament, we give something away at every par 3. Typically, there's only one par 3 that's involved in a golf tournament. We did all 4. We end the golf tournament, we pick 4 names out of the hat, and those 4 golfers take a shot for a $1 million hole-in-one. Not seen around here in this area, to my knowledge, but we tried to create that Disney World atmosphere with this golf tournament.
And there's still foursomes left, and really, all you have to do if you want to be in a foursome, and obviously you're on the same golf course with the state legislators, the governor, the Speaker of the House, the Senate President, and you just have to contact the foundation office and say, hey, I want to be in the Bill Oliver golf tournament.
That's correct.
And you get all the information, and it is honestly, Jim, it's the most well organized and best golf tournament I've ever been at, just because of what is given away. I mean, you're walking out of there with something. It's great.
You know, and I'll add one other thing, just to kind of see the acceptance that's been received in the state. The Lieutenant Governor's office, Billy Dungesser, he donates seafood that is cooked every year. He donates most of the ditty bag that we give away as they register in the morning. So this buy-in we're receiving is from all over the state. It's not just in Southwest Louisiana.
What do you think they're going to say this year now when they see the city and the school compared to a year ago? Because a year ago we were still in pretty bad shape and still recovering, and they've seen a year. How much does that make them kind of say, hey, we can invest in the area as well?
You know, I think that's a good point. You know, obviously everybody wants to see progress. And I don't think there's any question in the last 12 months, you know, the partnerships with McNeese, with the city, with the parish, with the state, those improvements are beginning to be seen now, you know, and coming back 12 months later, I think they're going to be a bit surprised at some of the changes that have occurred.
And hopefully that fuels more opportunity and more money to come in.
Absolutely.
So what's the biggest, in the last 4 or 5 years, the biggest move McNeese has made that's impressed you?
The commitment from the university leadership to athletics. You know, there's always been a commitment, but I see a total buy-in by leadership. And, you know, I've always said, you know, you can go down the road and look in Baton Rouge, you know, and I'm very familiar with how they did things down there. You know, academics and athletics are all on the same page. And it doesn't matter if academics bring you where you want to go or athletics. It brings the other side with you.
100%. And it's, you know, we talked earlier in the segment, Jim, and I know we got to wrap up here, about brand. And the golf tournament is about getting the brand out through the state, like Mike said. And the best way to get your brand out as a university is through athletics. It's the number one marketing thing that you can do for a university.
And you'll get that opportunity at the golf tournament. Watch Schroyer. See if he's really a good golfer. We'll get Coach's final thoughts after this. We're back. Coach, first of all, you're Heath Schroyer, the athletic director. Do you like being called coach by me, or would you rather be Lord King God?
You've called me a lot worse, so coach is just fine.
Okay.
Coach is just fine.
You know, as
Once you're coach,
as your status grows in the world.
No.
You know, we've already talked about the Tajma Heath, which is the big press box over here that we've nicknamed.
You know what? I'm so glad we come back for another year, and I got to take this abuse again. My gosh.
But the summer's an interesting time because you had a lot of things you wanted to work on. Obviously, getting closer to FBS. If it happened this summer, that'd been great. You seem, according to rumors, you won't want to talk about it, but from the rumors I'm hearing, you're closer than ever. You wanted to do NIL money. That's not completed yet, nor is the stadium naming rights. But did you have to get the press box done first before you could ask for those things?
Yeah, I think so. You know, and NIL is obviously, you know, is moving forward, and the press box is a big deal for us. It's you know, I just can't emphasize enough how much work behind the scenes it took to get the press box where it is. Because there's, you know, the one thing I've learned, and this is why when I do coaching searches, I don't want committees. You know, I want, you know, one or two people I can bounce some ideas on, because the one thing I've learned, especially when you get to like the press box, you have 10 people in the room and you have 10 different ideas and 10 different visions and but at the end of the day, you know, Dr. Roos and I were united from the start, and you know, we got to where we wanted to go, and that's to have as many suites as possible, and also have an opportunity to generate revenue, which this department desperately needs.
Football Media Day is next Monday. It's a Zoom. Not too many people are happy about that.
Yeah.
It seems to be a wasted opportunity by a league that was growing to kind of put out the brand and show what they've done. Do you feel that way, that it was a missed opportunity?
I think there's a lot of things that happened that were unforeseen. I think Chris did a great job of pivoting, and doing it this way. I think that, moving forward, I think that the league would not do it this way. You can call it a missed opportunity probably if you want, but it's not like that. Chris in the conference, wanted to do it this way. There's just some unforeseen things that happened, and I commend Chris for being able to pivot and get it done. And unfortunately, we have to, really do it on Zoom. But I also think, you have a lot of first-year head coaches. Gary's only in his second year, and 2 or 3 days to travel to, a venue is probably not ideal for those coaches, especially this year.
Yeah, that's another thing, is what the venue would have been too. Okay, as we look at the season coming up, and you look at the conference in general, one of the things we talk about always is the FCS decision, decision not to go to the WAC. Were you surprised by the recent statements by the WAC saying all of a sudden they've pivoted to we're happy with being FCS? Are you surprised by that, or is it just what they're left with?
I'm not surprised. I mean, I think that. What else are they going to say, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I get it, and I think that it'll be interesting, how it all plays out. I think the San Diego State was going to leave the Mountain West, and then they came back. I think there was a chance for things to start movement there, but now they went back into the Mountain West for at least another year, and so we'll see what happens. I mean, I think that. The decision we made to stay in the Southland at the time, I think obviously it's proven, a couple years later that it was 100% the right decision. And
you still want to see the Southland expand at least to football?
Yes. I am.
For scheduling, if nothing else.
Oh my gosh, yes. I think that I'm an aggressive personality. I think that we have to keep the pedal, keep our foot on the gas, if you will, and. We need to expand. We need to continue to grow, and I think that we're talking to institutions as a league right now. But I think that the Southland is where we need to be at this moment, and I think we're in a really, really solid place.
Okay, this is my analogy about you. You are right now the expecting father in the old days that is in the waiting room and left in the waiting room. You've built this program. You're ready for it to take off. You're ready to see this fall. Do you feel that way? Is it that excitement there?
It's a great analogy. I think so. I think that there's been a lot of work in the last couple of years. The first year, I'm coaching and being AD, so I'm just trying to figure it out. Then last year, we really tried to, we made some changes and laid the foundation. But I'm excited. I think this is the year that we take a huge jump, especially in our two major sports. And I'm really excited.
Could you have ever imagined when we came here for basketball that there'd be this much excitement in basketball?
No. And to see where it's at, I remember the first auction we put on, the boosters that are now involved, the people. I mean, I came here to build a basketball program, and we kind of started it, and then as an AD, I was able to really, I think, help facilitate it, and I can't be more excited about where our men's program is right now.
And the golf tournament?
August 17th. Come, really, buy a foursome. It is a great time. Contact the foundation, and they will take care of you. August 17th.
We'll see you next week on Polk Nation.